What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including a private video of a WWE star leaked, is Goldberg wrestling Sting in his last match, the real reason SmackDown superstars are competing for the Raw Championship, Roman Reigns scheduled for a big main event, sad news for a WWE legend, an NXT star coughs up a tooth, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new channel, Wrestlelamia Shorts. And now let's do the intro and get straight into our first story. Our first story looks at a private video of WWE star has been leaked. The top of today's news is more trouble for Matt Riddle, who finds himself embroiled in yet another scandal. Riddle recently began trending, and naturally people were wondering why. Well, unfortunately for those fans who investigated, the story has to deal with a leaked video of Matt Riddle manipulating his little bro. Next up is Goldberg wrestling Sting at his retirement match. A big news is Goldberg's retirement match may be on the horizon, and it could involve a true legend of the squared circle. Nick Hausman recently spoke with Rick Bassman, arguably best known for bringing several top stars into the ring including Sting, The Ultimate Warrior and John Cena, and inquired about the rumors surrounding Bill Goldberg's rumored retirement match. First of all, I'm actively in touch with Bill. I'm working on a date right now. I don't promote much these days, but every now and then something fun comes up and it's worth diving into. So working on a day in Jerusalem, Israel for September this year, and it would involve potentially both Goldberg and Sting. That doesn't mean Sting will be wrestling Goldberg, as Bassman details the issues involved with getting the stinger. Then on the latter you have the AEW clearance issues, of course. That's something that I really hope to put together, only because I've been in touch actively with Bill and then also with his agent Barry Bloom, who is a long-time good friend. They're working on exactly what you described, but to my knowledge it still needs to be nailed down. Now that said, I would not be surprised to see Bill end up back in WWE for something massive. Would Sting team up with Goldberg or wrestle him? Well, Bassman brought up Sting's iconic status and that Sting deserves to go out on a high note. So what else is there for him to do really at this point? He's been the top guy in the world for decades. He's well liked, he's well respected, he's still reasonably good in the ring. He's a guy that absolutely could afford by every metric and measure go out on the top, so why the heck not? That being said, Goldberg vs Sting would be problematic in having two babyfaces battle and putting a promoter in the bad spot of having to determine a winner. However, a tag match with Goldberg and Sting could solve the problem. Next up, the real reason SmackDown superstars are competing for the Raw Championship. And does WWE have any idea what they're doing following the brand split? Well, we recently covered the confusion caused when Rhea Ripley, who was drafted from SmackDown to Raw, showed up with the SmackDown Women's Championship rather than exchanging it with Raw Women's Champion Bianca Belair. However, that's the tip of the proverbial iceberg, as fans are asking why the WWE announced that SmackDown superstars will compete in the contest to crown a new world champ exclusive to Raw. Do they feel that there aren't enough good wrestlers on Raw to make a viable pool of contenders? Do they want Roman Reigns to compete and win all 3 world titles? Well, no, it turns out WWE is motivated by ratings. Meltzer discussed this on the recent Wrestling Observer Radio, pointing out that WWE and AEW are concerned about the NBA playoffs cutting into their ratings. If people are wondering why the Raw World title is in a tournament on SmackDown, this is the reason. Because they know a normal show right now will do a poor number, so they cannot do a normal show this week, and AEW knows the same thing. Indeed, AEW is loading up tonight's Dynamite with some major matches, including a steel cage match between the Blackpool Combat Club's Jon Moxley and the Elite's Kenny Omega. Meltzer added, wrestling fans are definitely getting benefited greatly by the fact that both these promotions know that this is a bad week with the Warriors-Lakers series. Next up, why certain wrestlers made the cut for the world title. Now, there are many great contenders involved for the new Raw World Championship, but for every great contender involved, there seem to be ones missing. For example, why wasn't Gunther involved? What about Solo Sikoa from the Bloodline? What about LA Knight? Well, according to a tweet from Ringside News, the WWE didn't pick the names out of a hat but had specific reasons behind their selections. WWE is preparing to crown a new champion, but they need to get a tournament out the way first. There were only so many spots in the World Heavyweight Championship tournament, and some people were left out for a good reason. We were told by a tenured member of the creative team that these were the matchups that made the most sense considering where we're going. Now, it's safe to say that the WWE knows who will win the title, which means there's no need to put certain wrestlers in if they're gonna have to job out. For example, both Gunther and Solo Sikoa are being pushed hard, so why have them suffer a loss in the title tournament and diminish their push? Next up, Roman Reigns scheduled for a big event. It looks like Reigns' summer schedule is picking up as he appears to be working the 7th July edition of SmackDown taking place in Madison Square Garden. Ringside News is reporting, according to the official Madison Square Garden website, Reigns is among the names featured in the promotional material for the live SmackDown TV taping on July 7th. The card is always subject to change, but it appears that the head of the table will be there at MSG. They also noted the Tribal Chief hasn't been on TV since WrestleMania 39. However, he is scheduled for this Friday's SmackDown and is being advertised for Night of Champions and Money in the Bank. A reminder that the WWE uses his appearance strategically since his contract mandates he work a limited schedule. It's unknown who Reigns' next challenger for the Undisputed Championship will be, but we're likely to get an idea after SmackDown. Next up, sad news for WWE Legend. Now, things are looking very bleak for former WWF champion superstar Billy Graham. Graham's wife Valerie recently updated his fans with the news that the doctors are continuing to try and prepare me for the worst. Despite the doctor's warning, she wrote, "And I continue to explain to them that Wayne and I are people of faith and that our God has the final say. I'm not in denial about what's happening to him or blind to what the medical reports say. I just know that the God I serve is greater than any infection and more powerful than any organ failure." Now, Graham may have a heart infection, but his wife explained that he's too ill to undergo the test. She asked that fans continue to pray for the stricken superstar. Well wishes to the superstar, his family, and his friends during this crisis. Next up, a current WWE superstar lobbied for Savio Vega to appear at Backlash. The fans are still talking about Vega's surprise appearance at Backlash, stopping by backstage to encourage Bad Bunny and later confronting the Judgment Day when they interfered in Bad Bunny's match against Judgment Day's Damian Priest. Vega, a former superstar, is a major player in wrestling in Puerto Rico and talked with Cultaholic about how he became involved in the show. They got in contact with me because this is the mastermind of Damian Priest and Bad Bunny. They're both fans of me, and I discovered that when I went to the farewell of The Undertaker. I saw Damian Priest there and I went to him, "Hey man, how you doing? I want to take a picture with you." He said, "No, I want to take a picture with you." So I talked to him a little bit there. We don't talk too much, but we did keep in touch by phone. This idea was them, more Damian Priest. Vega added that Finn Balor was a fan of Vega's new generation masked persona Kwang, which is why he asked Vega to take him out with some serious karate chops and kicks. Next up, an NXT superstar unhappy with the current persona? It looks like NXT superstar Gigi Dolan isn't happy with her current persona. According to PW Mania, the former member of Toxic Attraction wrote on her Instagram stories, "I miss being PK." Now, for those who don't know, Gigi Dolan wrestled under her name Priscilla Kelly before signing with WWE. And she may be unhappy with the poor push that she's had since the WWE split her and former teammate JC Jane up. Next up, an NXT star loses a tooth. And did we see a tooth fly out? Well, Tank Ledger spit up a tooth during his match against Josh Briggs, then placed it in his singlet. As Cage Side Seats noted, we can't be sure this wasn't something they planned, so folks like me would like to share the clip. Nonetheless, it was a cool spot that WWE quickly shared on Twitter. Next up, a former superstar contemplating an in-ring return. As former superstar Mark Jindrak stepping back into the ring, the talented big man enjoyed championship success in WCW, then joined WWE, working there from 2001 until his 2005 release. Jindrak missed the chance of a lifetime when he was considered for the role in the Evolution faction, only for Batista to get the final spot. Nonetheless, Jindrak enjoyed success out of WWE, including runs in New Japan and Lucha Libre Promotions, AAA and CMLL. And I recently weighed about an in-ring return during a chat with Developmentally Speaking. Lately I've been getting into good shape again, so I feel like a resurgence. I kind of have an itch to take some more wrestling shows, but maybe that could see me wrestling more in the US. I don't know, that's the one thing I look back on and I have a little bit of regret. I wish I would have maybe cut Mexico a little earlier and come back and did some stuff in the US. I think there's still a chapter to write, honestly. Would you guys like to see him return? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, Emma revives a popular move from a former superstar. A recently returned WWE superstar, Emma added a new move to her arsenal. She recently used former WWE superstar Victoria's finisher, the Widow's Peak, during a match on Main Event. And finally, Lana's hilarious response to a fan. And last but not least, you won't believe the response Miro had when a fan questioned whether he and his wife CJ Perry are separated. Apparently, the rumors started after Perry posted a picture of herself alone in Puerto Rico. A fan tweeted, "I guess the rumors are true, you and Miro are separated." But Miro shut the fan down with this response saying, "Didn't you know she's with Bobby Lashley still?" But there you have it folks, the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below. I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.